Hello, we continue video. Today we're gonna take a look at a double grass team here with the Hisuian Electrode, which is new in this cup basically because it's Sinnoh Cup with Hisui Pokemon, and therefore the last time the Hisuian Electrode wasn't available. And we have a very interesting team here with the Abomasnow as well. The Hisuian Electrode only basically has one good save swap against it, which is Abomasnow itself, but I don't think I faced a single one, and even then I have a pretty decent team against this Pokemon. So this thing is actually pretty cool. The Electrode has so much potential right now, and this team also worked out really well. I went way positive with this team. I can definitely recommend it to you. And the Electrode itself is really cool. You can use it as a lead, you can use it as a closer, you can use it as a save swap. Literally one of the Pokemon that you can use in every position in this kind of meta, and it's gonna be decent. I also thought of doing a double electric team, but it didn't really look too good on paper at least, so I opted to go for this team, and I definitely like this team a lot. This team worked out really well, as the Electrode gonna be able to just finish up this match here. I went very positive with this team. I think I went 4-1 twice. And I had half of a set before, which didn't went that good. But hey, I definitely went very positive with this team. You're also most likely gonna see my elo climbing up in this video. But this is definitely a team I can recommend you, and it's definitely good. But there's one issue, and that's Frostless. Frostless makes it a little bit awkward most of the time because this thing is pretty decent against you. My Toxicroak has high attack. I think I would be able look at this, by the way. My Toxicroak has 8 attack and I still lose CMP tie here. I don't know what my opponent's Toxicroak's ACP are, or general IVs are, but this is insane that I lose CMP there. My Toxicroak is already horrible, and losing this CMP gonna cost me the game here. Otherwise, I think I would have had the game. I'm not sure what they had in the back actually here, but I would have been able to KO the Toxicroak in time, and they even have Dynamic Punch, and I would have been able to do some nice stuff against the Frostless as well. I'm not sure what they had in the back. Most likely something like the Lucario, I would guess, but maybe then I also wouldn't have won. But yeah, losing CMP there with my IV spread on Toxicroak is kinda interesting. I was kinda surprised about this, to be honest, but hey. We see another Frostless here. We can go for some counter. In the two-shit scenario, this matchup is way closer than you might think because you have a Ghost type against a Fighting type, but it doesn't really matter for Toxicroak, to be honest. But the one issue that you have in the two-shit scenario is that they are actually going to be able to outspeed you at the end, which I didn't really want to happen here. Still, it didn't really help me that much. I have to go into my Abomasnow now, and I have to go and farm all the way down. You see the worst possible matchups right now, by the way. So many Frostless all of a sudden. And I still went positive with this team usually. But Toxicroak again, we are getting completely hardballed right now. That's really nice. As I'm gonna be able to go now into my Electrode afterwards, but this does not look too good, to be honest. They're gonna go ahead and go actually for the Mud Bomb. Interesting here, as they seem to have a Gliscor in the back, and I make a mistake here. Should have went for the Wild Charge, because the Wild Charge would have allowed them to KO me with a 1 Night Slash, and I would be able to maybe farm down at this point. But because they can farm me down now, they're gonna get to the move in time against my Abomasnow. And I definitely would have been able to farm down, so I make a mistake here that cost me the game. If I went for the Wild Charge, I would have been able to win this game, definitely. But like this, I am not able to farm down the Gliscor. Again, very nice matchups against me, completely hardwalled. Again, a horrible matchup, not a horrible matchup, but not a good matchup with the Toxicroak in the lead. But usually, because of our IV spread, we're gonna be able to win CMP tie in most cases against the opponent's Toxicroak, which gonna make us win the lead here a lot, which I think is really important, to be honest. I think having a high attack Toxicroak is really nice for this team, as we're gonna go for one Mud Bomb here, and this should be able to get the final shield by my opponent. We have a CMP tie here where we see that we win the CMP tie, and we're gonna get this opponent a very low, basically low enough that one Mud Bomb easily gonna knock him out. We would have also been able to knock him out, I think, with farming him down with the other Pokemon, but like this, I'm gonna swap out immediately my Electrode because there's not really an answer for this. As we see a Skuntank, I mean, this is also at least an offensive answer because this thing can threaten me a lot, but it didn't really help him too much because I already put him into right health, and I can still get to another charge move against this Drapion here, as we see him P-tie, which is amazing for me. As the Aqua Tail comes through, the undercharge here didn't really help him too much. I can go ahead, go into my Abomasnow, and as soon as I hit the Weather Ball here, I win this game. because they will not be able to get to 2 moves against me with their, with their Skunk Tang, as they're already super low here. And they can KO me here, I don't really mind too much, because my Toxicroak in the back still has a lot of HP left, which is enough to farm down here. Next up, we got Munchlax in the lead. Finally a decent lead for this team here, as we see my opponent going into a Cresselia. That's not really a nice option for me here, but I just have to deal with it, I guess, as they're gonna go ahead, go for one Moonblast, and this does some nice damage. I can go ahead and go for some Wild Charges now, which does also some nice damage, but they're gonna shield up the first one, which is fine. I can go for another one here, that's also fine. But I make a crucial mistake later on in this matchup, which you shouldn't do, to be honest. You're gonna be able to win this matchup, I think, in every scenario other than the 2 shields. But yeah, I overfarmed too much here. Like, if I didn't overfarm that much, I would have been able to just throw my move without shielding, and now the Psycho Cut would KO me here if they shield this up, and they are not shielding this up, which is nice for me, because now I can get to another Wild Charge, and I'm just Wild Charging everything with this Pokemon, doing so much damage, KOing one Pokemon, getting one Pokemon to half health, and we have the perfect answer for the Gastrodon in the back here. This is the main reason why you run a double grass line. Gastrodon is such a good Pokemon in this kind of meta. Also, like, the main idea behind this team, if you didn't notice that, we have something in the back that really doesn't want to face something like a Bastion. You have something as a Seizuo, which is a really neutral against nearly everything, and then you have something in the lead that's really good against Bastion. Also, you have 2 Pokemon in the back that are good against flying types, like the Drifblim. So this team definitely makes a lot of sense, and also worked out very good for me. Well, we had 2 losses in the beginning, we have a horrible lead now here, but I actually like to lose lead with this team. Like, it's an ABB line, losing lead is not the problem, especially if you have Electrode in this team, because Electrode against Lucario, they go for the wrong move, they go for a Power Punch, which allows me to get to 2 Wild Charges, getting either Switch advantage or 2 shields by my opponent. He can decide. What does he decide? He decides to let it go through, boom, and they go back into the Drifblim, and now we can align our Bomber Snow against the Drifblim, which is very nice for me, as this Icy Wind gonna get shielded up. It's fine for me. They're gonna go and stay in here. We can go for one more one Weather Ball here, which gonna get the shield by my opponent means they're weak to me in the back, I guess, and they're gonna go for more debuffs against me, so they're really weak against me in the back, I guess. As we're gonna farm up extra, we're gonna go ahead, go for the Weather Ball, KO this Drifblim. What do they have in the back? They have a Cresselia. They're not really weak against me in the back, to be honest. And this is horrible, because Toxicroak doesn't like to face Cresselias. But 1 Moonblast is still not enough to KO me. I can still get to the Sludge Bomb here. The Sludge Bomb's still gonna do massive damage. And you know what also does massive damage? An Energy Ball from this Shadow Bomber Snow. Boom! And this Cresselia is gone. Pretty easy win there. Like, the Bomber Snow as a closer is so good. Also, we face another Electrode in the lead here, as we're gonna go ahead, go into our own Electrode, and as we have like the best Sage Swap in this kind of meta right now, we can just take everything here, and we see the Toxicroak coming in. I don't really care too much about this. We go for 1 Wild Charge, get the shield advantage. And we, like, they have to throw a move here. I think, no, they didn't. Okay, if I farmed up extra, I think I would have been able to get to 2 Wild Charges, so I misplayed this matchup a little bit, to be honest, which is fine. We can go for another Mud Bomb here. Would be able to KO my opponent. They're gonna shield this up, it's fine, but I should be able to get to the next move in time as well. I can shoot up theirs, and I should be able to get to my Mud Bomb now and KO the opponent, which is nice, because now there's 1 less answer definitely for the Bomber Snow in the back, as we see the Gastrodon, and we have the perfect hard answer for both Pokemon in the back. Bomber Snow goes to town here, goes for the Weather Ball, KOs this thing, and the Gastrodon comes in. I'm just gonna go ahead and, okay, he just decides to surrender. That's fine for me. Next up, Bastion lead, a very nice lead for me. We're gonna see my opponent going to their own Toxicroak. There's nothing that I can really answer here, but as I am already 1 move ahead because I had to swap into me, I'm gonna be easily able to win this matchup without caring about any kind of CMP tie or anything like this. We're gonna go 2 shields down, which is fine for me, but I also gonna be able to do some massive damage against like something like the Bastion with my with my Electrode, but it's still gonna be a little bit tough later on, because like the Toxicroak doesn't have a lot of HP left, and it really depends on what they have in the back now. I hope it's not like another Steel type or whatever. That would be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, Wormadam, hi! Wormadam is a hard wall for the Pokemon in the back. I should have went already for the Wild Charge, to be honest. I should have went straight for the Wild Charge. That was my misplay, to be honest, but this will cost me the game here, as there's not a lot that I can do anymore. I go for a Wild Charge here, I'm gonna put him low. Another Wild Charge will not be able to KO the Bastion even because it's just too bulky. And we have to go now into our Bomber Snow here, because our only chance is to get a Mud Bomb onto the Wormadam here. Is this enough to survive one confusion? It is not, and we lose this game here. Yeah, like Wormadam in the back, Wormadam in general is a little bit tricky, to be honest, for this team, kind of core breaker, but I don't really see it too often, to be honest. As we see a Drifloon coming in here, totally fine for us. We go for the Weather Ball, and this thing actually survives. And as it's already at a Shadow Ball, basically, I have to shield, but they go for the bait, which is fine, I guess. So we're going to be able to get to more moves. Anyway, we see the Lucario coming in. I can go for one Energy Ball, which is going to do massive damage here. As we're gonna see this thing coming through, we're gonna put him into the yellow health range. And we just gonna look at farming everything down here. That's all what you really want to. They go for the Shadow Ball, and they are down, and they just surrender with their Empoleon. Good game there. Next up, we have the Toxic Rock against the Drifblim. Again, horrible lead. I take this with this team though. As Electrode doesn't really have a safe swap, we can go ahead, go for a Wild Charge. They realize that they are weak to me anyway, I guess. And we can just pressure everything with this thing here. They gotta go ahead and swap into their Lucario. I don't really care too much about this. We can go for another move here, and this move gonna KO this thing if they don't shield, but they shield, of course. And I can farm this thing down. And the other thing here right now is that my opponent is gonna be locked into the Drifblim if we can farm him down fast enough, because they did go for another charge move. I get go for a charged move, so the switch clock is unaligned, so they cannot swap out of this matchup, and I can just KO them with the Obama Snow. And I have a move start with my Pokemon in the back, and we see the Empoleon coming in here, which doesn't want to get hit by an Energy Ball either. How much is it gonna do here? It does a lot of damage, put him into the red health, and at this point this game was already over. They don't have enough energy to get to 2 moves here, and I have a Mud Bomb stored anyway, so good game to my opponent there. Pretty easy after losing lead. Like, you really want to lose lead with this team, which is kind of hilarious, but this is how ABB lanes work anyway. As we see, a decent lead for me, which I don't really like, as well as Frostless coming in. But as we have one counter advantage now, or like half a counter advantage, I think I'm gonna be able to win this game here in the 2-shield scenario pretty easily, which is all that I really want to. This is basically how you play Frostless safe swaps. You win in the 2 shields pretty easily. There's nothing that they can do, I think, at least as far as I know. I think I can counter them down now. I think that I don't even have to throw a move anymore. And I can counter them down. I have a Mud Bomb stored, which is nice. And we're gonna see my opponent going into a Togekiss, which means I can go ahead, go for one Sludge Bomb here. And the Sludge Bomb gonna get the shield from my opponent. We can go into our Bomber Snow, and if they don't catch the move, which they try to do but failed with this, we can go into our Electrode, and Electrode gets to the moves faster than they can, and Electrode goes for a boom. And Electrode goes for another boom, and we easily win this final game, like not even final game though, this game here against this Charmed Togekiss. But I had some other things with Charmed Togekiss as well, which I didn't really like too much. As we see a Gastron lead, we can go into Electrode, they go into their Frostless, which is fine for me as I get some damage on this Pokemon, or maybe even get a shield from this Pokemon. I get at least damage. I'm not gonna shield this because I know that they're gonna farm me down otherwise, and I don't really want the damage on that. But I should be able to maybe farm down with my Toxic Rogue now, hopefully, yes. And I have to go for the Mud Bomb here against the Gastrodon, otherwise I have like some problems there. That's not gonna be too nice. And I'm gonna try to swap out here, didn't work out. I'm gonna go and let this move go through. I hope that they're weak against me in the back, as they gonna reveal to not throw anything and stay in here. I can go for one Weather Ball. What do they have in the back again? They gonna let this move go through. It's gonna be a Drapion, and it's gonna come down to the wire. Actually, we're gonna do some nice damage with our fast moves. They're gonna do some nice damage with their fast moves as well, and they can get to the charge moves very fast. I don't know who wins this final game here. It's gonna come down to the wire. I don't actually know how much like a Weather Ball does to him. as we're gonna definitely be able to hit one. We already put him below half health. How much does the Weather Ball do here? It's gonna come down to the wire. It does just 1 HP left there. Can I get another move through? Does he have 2 moves out already? He goes for Aqua Tail, and he has another Aqua Tail. And I think this KOs me, so that's a good game there. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.